Welcome back to Morning at NTV, and we are on the hashtag Morning at NTV. This is a solution segment where we will help you get information of what you need, and today's topic is on the police. Do you feel they're doing enough? Have you gone to a police station and you felt like you were not handled well? So today, to answer those questions in studio, I have the police spokesperson, Kampala Metropolitan, Luke Owesigere. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, madam.
I'll start with the positives.
Yes.
Fine, the police has been under fire recently for quite some time. But on the positive side, do you people actually, set up an application, mobile application, where people can actually, track down the lost items and even missing persons? What informed the creation of that app?
We found at our different stations in the country, and especially here in Kampala, we have a lot of lost property that is stuck with us. We have found out that people actually, when they lose something, let me say like an ID, a phone, they always come to police, inform the police of what they've lost. When they inform the police of what they've lost, if you're given a paper, especially like an ID, since you have to renew it, or a SIM card, since you have to, or a passport, you always have to renew those things, and you need a police report that shows that really you lost that thing. After that, they never turn back to check on the different police stations whether their property was found or not. In most cases, they lose the property. You just lose it. In some cases, the thefts happen, and this person is only interested in money, not in your documents. You drop the documents there, and they are brought to our police stations. And we have a lot of those things there. And we thought about it, and we were like, which is the only way we can communicate to the public, let the public know that we actually have these documents. If you've ever lost your IDs, we have a lot of national IDs, a lot, and you know how it is expensive now acquiring one of recent. A good number of passports. In most cases, it is always maybe passports you can hurriedly renew, get a new one, but they are there. There are too many, and we only thought that is the only way we can interact with the public to get to know that their property is actually with us.
Okay. Let's speak about the missing persons angle, because this app also helps people to track where the missing persons are. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, the missing persons angle, it has not yet started working well, but it is in development.
Okay.
We are yet to develop it very well. Apparently now we are most concentrating on the lost and found property.
Okay.
But it is something that will help us. You can always get to know that this person is missing. Also, accountability to the public.
Yes.
If we put up that this person is missing, what have we done? Because it is in your eyes and you know that this person is missing. It will help us also to be accountable and to always work around the clock to make sure that this person is recovered. We have had some cases, of course. Some people go missing not because they are kidnapped. Youth sometimes get fed up of being at home. They just decide to go away. We've had a lot of cases like that in Entebbe.
Okay.
Of recent girls, between the ages of 15 to 10, disappearing, and all of a sudden they turn up. So that app can help us. And in most cases, when these people go missing and they turn up, we don't report about it. That maybe this person has turned up, and maybe we can always be, the public can always start saying that we have not done anything. That will also help us be accountable, because there are a lot of stories and situations that go around in the security of the nation, and you have to keep up up to date. Like I saw one of the students there saying that we don't communicate enough, and I believe that will help us in the communication aspect of it.
Okay. The other positive is is it 2 weeks ago, the police actually raided a mosque in Usafi Market, Kampala, and actually, rescued 60 children and 60 women. The police is actually doing something, but the public is not doing that. Do you feel that the public is so harsh to the police in terms of judging them?
Well, you cannot blame anyone about their judgments. Like my boss has said, policing everyone has his own perception about policing. To tell you the truth, there are people that really appreciate the work we do very much, and they are our. I wouldn't want to say that they are our friends. Everyone is our friend,
Yes.
but for them, they look at us as friends. And if you look at us in that aspect as friends, trust me, you can never go wrong on any part, because when you're a friend to someone, you can always avail any information. You can always be critical. When you have a friend, you know what they will want, what they like. Like we've had instances whereby a lot of things are done. I would really want to reflect back on there is a situation where we had people packed, and a certain group of people, they were in a car. I would say I wasn't there, but that is according to someone who saw what happened. Packed and threw out someone out of the car, and later on to discover this person, and they drove off. Discover this person was dead. The person who saw everything going on did not even mind taking note of probably the number plate, but he would give you the story as it went on. But he didn't get the small things where we could start our investigations from.
Like getting the number plate,
getting the number plate,
the color of the car, the type of the car.
You could get the color of the car, but you maybe some people are scared seeing such scenarios. But when you're a friend of police, there are certain things you look at and you're like, maybe I should do things like this. When you listen to what we say, we are always moving around the public, telling them on how to secure themselves. Something we like calling target hardening. How do you protect yourself from everything that is bound to happen to you? How do you protect?
And we'll come back to that later. In the past few weeks, we've seen cases of kidnappings being on the rise. Not just kidnappings, but murder. And this is actually happening, and most of the cases, when someone goes missing, then it's actually established that it's a kidnap. A big number of them end up being murdered. And these cases have gone unabated. What do you have to say about this?
I wouldn't say a big number of them. Well, like, I know the biggest concern now in the public is the communication part of it. But you should also know that the good work now, the fact that we are supposed to be accountable to the public. In most cases, the good works we do, the recoveries we've made a lot of recoveries during kidnaps. In most cases, the media doesn't reflect much on that. And of course, when something bad happens, like someone is kidnapped and later on is found murdered, that reflects a lot, and it comes back to us to make sure that we are doing something about it. Yes, people have been kidnapped. They have been later on murdered. Yes. Even sometimes when these parents have allegedly given in some money they've been asking for. But I would really want to inform the public that we are trying as much as possible to make sure that if we are not able to stop the kidnap from happening, what will we do?
Okay, what will
we do?
Get
the persons that have kidnapped someone, and also save someone from the kidnapper.
Okay, for example, let's say a person goes missing today and a kidnap actually happens. What procedures should I take as that person's relative to actually report this case to the police? What are the procedures?
The first procedure is the moment you get to know that your partner, son, daughter has been kidnapped, run to the nearby police station.
The nearby police station.
Yes,
it doesn't have to be a police station in your jurisdiction.
It doesn't have to be a police station in your jurisdiction. Run to the nearby police station, inform, because we have systems. And if it happens, the system will communicate to the main station, where they have maybe the capability of doing some scientific work and technical work. Then give as much as information you know about that person that has been kidnapped, the age, how he looks like, the last clothes you saw him or her in, where do you suspect this person could have been kidnapped from, and where was he going, And this comes back to us as Ugandans. When you're moving, always communicate to your loved one where you're going. Communicate. When you, I saw a student that's talking about the guild president that master the small things, like a number plate of the car you're going, because you know this is not something that we can just brush off. There are kidnaps happening, and we cannot deny that. And when times are like this, it comes back to us as citizens of Uganda to be security conscious in many ways. Give as much information to the police. Collaborate with the police. Don't listen to what those suspected kidnappers.
And that brings me to the next question, because most of these kidnappers actually use a phone to communicate to the kin of this person they've kidnapped that, you know what, we have your person. And in most cases, actually, they ask for a ransom to be paid via mobile money. Then why is it so hard to track them?
No, it is not hard to track them. In the scenario of the 19-year-old girl, it is very unfortunate. She was abducted on Sunday in the evening, I might say, and the parents got to know about the information at around midnight.
Yes.
Yes. Those kidnappers were actually using her phone. We have always tracked those numbers, but you know, the scientific part of tracking is very complex. You can track someone in this in a locality whereby there are many people, and it will tell you that the person you're looking for is at Serena, and unless you have a picture of someone you're looking for, it becomes hard for you to. There might be a lot of people, and imagine a scenario whereby you locate someone talking to you in a place where there are many people, and you cannot just round off everyone in the city that this just search you. You're supposed to follow a few procedures,
which takes time,
which kind of like takes time.
Okay.
But we do the tracking. That's how we have managed to be successful in many cases. Although in most cases they don't come out to light for people to know about them, but we've made sure that they know about them, but they don't overemphasize about them. We've become successful on that. On self-kidnaps, that's how we got to know that maybe this person has kidnapped him or herself. On people that have been kidnapped, that's how we have been able to get leads in some of the cases we're investigating up to now.
All right.
Because the tracking aspect, the scientific aspect is there, and the most important of all, the interviewing and interrogation aspect, where we get information from the person reporting and also the suspect in any way that we have apprehended. So it is all those are very important.
Okay. Let me take you back to where you said that, you know what, when you go to report a case of a missing person, you first need to give as much information and as many details as you can to the police officers to be able to take up, you know, that investigation, and at least they have a point where they can begin. We've had instances whereby people say, you know what, when I go to the police station, they don't seem to take this issue as sensitive, because when someone goes to report a missing person, this person already, they're emotional. A part of them is sad, but the treatment they get is not, does not help them feel better in any way, or the police does not give them an aspect of hope. So is it that many police stations, the police in many police stations are not trained on how to handle, the people who come to report such sensitive cases as kidnaps?
Yes. No, it is not true that they are not trained, but you've brought out a very key issue.
Yes.
This is a scenario whereby you have someone who's emotional.
Yes.
Someone has been told, if you don't send this amount of money, sometimes the amount of money she has never even touched.
Yes.
You've never even seen it close to you, and someone is telling you, if you don't do this, we shall bring you a body of your relative or something. That is something that really brings out emotion in a person. I would really want to inform you in scenarios whereby this, like the one of this lady, she was allegedly kidnapped on Sunday. On Monday she was found dead. You might not get time for that, because the most emphasis is making sure that you save a life, but also making this person does not go astray, because we are human. We are bound to do anything. When a police officer, it is very important for a police officer to calm you down. If they've told you to send the money and you feel like, why don't I send this money? Because it will save your life. You're being emotional, and that's why we need police officers who can calm you down, play out every scenario.
But does it really happen?
It happens. In most cases, it happens. It happens. I've not been there when some people report the cases, but I know we've managed to handle some situations
with
because
sensitivity.
The officer can put you in a way to see everything in an angle that he's seeing it. Because trust me, you might send this money. How sure are you that the life will be saved?
Correct. So in essence, what you're saying is
calming you down. It might not be the other part that you really need, like tapping your shoulder, like, oh, sorry, but we need to
giving hope, like, don't worry, we have this,
that has always been done, trust me. It has always been done, but also making you see why you shouldn't make any rash decision, and that is by giving you hope. Does
that mean then if a person goes missing, you're not supposed to pay off the ransom immediately?
That is true. You're not supposed to pay off the ransom.
Okay.
Actually, it depends on the investigators. They might.
The police.
Yes, on the police. They might see an aspect whereby transferring that money can get them closer to the suspect.
Yes.
They might play out that scenario. If they play it out and they see it might work, but if someone is telling you that send the money on mobile money, come on, you can never be so sure about that. Although we have done some work on such a thing, whereby the alleged kidnappers tell us that send the money on this number, and we send it, and we always grab them when they are picking it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is something, like in many cases, this work cannot be done alone. We are police officers, but we need service providers, because you've seen in many cases these people are using phones. So we need to work hand in hand with the service providers to make sure that if we need any information about something, they can always provide
the service providers, like the players in the sector, the MTNs.
Yes, in the telecom industry.
And is it happening currently?
Yes, it is happening. It is happening. It happens.
It happens. Yes. Okay. Let's switch gears to a totally different topic: traffic police.
Yeah.
And this is an area where the public are saying, you know what, if there's any lot of police that are more corrupt at the traffic police, empower us today, because most of us actually end up giving bribes because we do not know our rights. When you're stopped by a policeman on the road, what should you do as a citizen?
Well, there are rules and there are rules. There is a question that has always been asked to us, public relations officer, that these operations traffic does, are they illegal? In most cases, we have seen some people happy about them, some, especially the ones that own these motor vehicles and motorcycles, are sad. But this comes back to us as Ugandans. We like, I would say, I've been at a police station. I've seen the traffic, people have been culprits, traffic violations, have been with them, but when you interview them, we like shortcuts a lot, Ugandans. And that is the truth. Shortcut, when you're driving, you feel like the distance from here is shorter than me first following the rules of first going a longer distance and then coming into the intersection. They feel like it is longer to them, and they like making the shortcuts in every way. And they have carried that on to making a shortcut in justice, giving bribes. But we have always come out to say that the part of the bribe is not something that should be one-sided.
Okay.
When you start blaming an officer from receiving a bribe, what have you done as you, the person who has done one, who has given it there?
Yes.
Some of these people even give out, there are some videos we have seen via the internet where someone gives this money to the person. I would say probably sometimes without even asking, but again he has to record that I've given this person this money, and again come out and say these people are thieves.
Yes, they're corrupt.
But in an aspect, you've aided that corruption.
So does it mean then, still on traffic rights, what should a policeman stop me for, and what shouldn't a policeman stop me for, and which type of policeman? Because most of the times, the public is stopped by a totally different type of police, someone who is not in white. We all know that the traffic police wear white. So what are your rights? For example, if today I'm driving and a policeman who is not in white stops me, should I stop or not?
Of course, everything we do, we follow the Constitution.
Okay.
The Criminal Procedures Act on arrests and everything, it tells us that any officer can stop any vessel, let it be a ship, this on the lakes and seas.
Okay.
Let it be a plane, let it be a motor vehicle, let it be a bicycle, anything. An officer, it doesn't matter which uniform he's in, he has the right to stop you. And but depending, if you're going to read to me my traffic offenses, you need to be well versed with everything that you're going to read. You don't as an officer, you wouldn't want to look a fool in front of someone.
So does that mean then if a police officer stops me, regardless of what color of uniform they're wearing, if I feel like he doesn't know, he's not well versed with this issue, do I then go ahead and report to a higher ranking police?
Of course, when an officer stops you, first of all, and that is in case of anything. Let it be an arrest, let it be stopping you because of traffic violation.
Yes.
Because if you violated traffic, you have to be arrested or given a receipt or something.
Okay.
You have to be told the crime you've committed.
Okay.
That is the first thing any officer should do. If you've passed through traffic lights and you didn't notice that, an officer is supposed to remind you that here and here you've done this and this. Correct.
Then after that, they're supposed to give you a ticket to go to.
You've littered or something. Nowadays all those things are followed. Then after that, you're supposed to be given a ticket.
Okay.
In most cases, you call to the station.
Okay. Or you're called to the station.
Your car is impounded. We've had a lot of people who have not adhere to paying these receipts.
Yes.
The tickets. Yeah. So in most cases, what we do is to impound their cars and give them receipts. They pay up. They take their cars.
Okay.
That is the only measure we are trying to say that people don't violate these paying the tickets. Okay. Because we have a lot of defaulters. A lot of them.
Okay, so the thing is, if you're caught by the traffic police, ensure that he tells you what rules you have violated. Then after that, do not pay a bribe. Actually, ask for the ticket.
Ask for the ticket. If they impound your car, be graceful.
Yes. Follow up, pay up, and get your vehicle.
Back.
Okay. In a nutshell, as we close, so you mentioned that security begins with me and you. We are in charge of our own security. So what precautions are we supposed to take as individuals to ensure that, you know what, we are not caught on the wrong side of the police, and when it comes to kidnapping and people being murdered, that we don't get to be a statistic in that regard?
Yes. You don't get to be a statistic.
Yes.
It is very unfortunate that these things are happening, but what I can inform the public is that we are trying to do as much as possible.
Okay.
But as we do as much as possible, what are the public doing to help us in making sure that we stop all this that is happening? You might not stop it when it happens, but give us information to make sure that these people are brought to book.
Okay.
So we need you very much.
And on a personal capacity?
And on a personal capacity, there are measures that you're supposed to take up. Personal security. When you're in a home, have you locked the doors? Do you know your neighbors? Do you know the OC in the area? Do you know what happens with your neighbors when you're away? So all those things, and also self-defense classes.
Self-defense classes will actually help. So don't take these things for granted. If you have to go for self-defense classes, get to know your neighbors. Do not take that for granted. Take charge of your own security and help the police as much as possible to execute their roles. That has been it for this segment. We'll be right back with Take Note.